Hello, everybody. We had some technical problems with the other live. I don't know what happened. We did real good this whole week, going back and forth. But when we went to Hangouts, it seems like something was going wrong. So I'm going to get Arvilla on the phone now because I wanted you guys to actually see her and talk to her. How y'all doing? Okay, can you hear me?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Um, I'm going to set you up here. So I'm just live right now, okay? Where people are coming in, but see, they can't see you because if we go to Hangout, I don't know what was going on with Hangouts. Can you guys see her here? Here she is. So we're going to do it this way, okay? We're going to have to do it this way because something's going on with Hangouts. And we've been doing this for a couple of times this week, haven't we? And we had no problems. So you all, this is Ron Isley's daughter, Arvilla. She likes to be called Mickey. Okay, that's her nickname. Okay. Thank you guys for coming back in. Sorry for the inconvenience. Like I said, we did this all this week and we didn't have no problems. And today it decided to act up. Can you all hear me? Let me know if you can all hear me. So I got you right here. I don't know. So you're looking at the screen now. Let me see if I can get you in. You can all hear me? Thank you, Karen Williams and Tammy. Thank you. You can hear me, right? Okay, this is Mickey Isley that we have right now on the phone. This is how I have to do it because something's going on with Hangouts and we can't seem to get it right on Hangouts. Something's technical, some technical issues.
Oh, can you
hey, Miss Jones. We can't do nothing on Hangouts. There's something going on with Hangouts. It's just not coming in clear. So we have to do it this way. This is Arvilla Isley, Ron Isley, firstborn daughter. Okay. Can you can you say something to them and ask them if they can hear you? Arvilla?
Yes.
Yeah. Can you say something to them and see if they can hear you?
Okay. All right. Mickey here.
Say, can you guys?
Good evening to everybody. Can everybody hear me? Oh, can anybody hear me?
Then somebody said, hi, Mickey. They said, yes, they can hear you. Sorry, we have to do it this way, y'all, but we don't know what's going on with Hangouts. I'm so sorry.
You can?
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So you guys tell her she can look on YouTube because I'm live on YouTube. And can you see? They can hear you.
All right. Can you see me now?
Thank you guys for coming back in. So sorry about the screw up there. You know, things happen. We did this all week long, practice and everything, and nothing went wrong. It so happened. We was getting all this feedback and all stuff like that. So I appreciate you guys hanging in there. So sorry about that. I hope everybody comes from the other live and come back on. So like I said, this is Arvilla, Mickey Isley. This is R&B singer Ron Isley's daughter. And everybody, please thumbs up for her. Give her some thumbs up and thank her for being here and for putting up with us, what we're doing now. I can't see you. Where'd you go? Your picture went away. There you go. There you go. Now, can you see yourself?
Yes.
You can see yourself. Okay. Am I okay with it? Let me turn. Let me see. Is that better?
Better.
Is that better with this light out I just turned out? Don't she look just like her father? Same smile, everything, you guys. I'm gonna put a link down for her to show you all her pictures since she was young and coming up. If I could bring it up here while you guys are talking, I will, but I don't want nothing else to happen. Too much has happened already. We didn't even expect it. So can you guys see it better without that light that I just had on? Please, somebody tell me yes. Miss Jones, you have the wrench here. Are you still here? Yeah, they have the same. They look exactly alike. I mean, exactly alike. He just spit her out. He said, somebody said here, Charlotte Good said, I've known Arvilla since 5th grade.
Oh,
She's known you since 5th grade. Her name is Charlotte Good. That's what she has on here anyway. Okay, Erika Joy, this is Ron Isley from the Isley brothers, is his first daughter. His first daughter. And we're gonna let her still look alike. They look alike, don't they? Yes, they do. Charlotte Good said, "You her girl." So it must be somebody at school. Charlotte, are you a schoolmate? Okay. Somebody said, who is she? Yes, they do look just alike. Okay, Arvilla, I'm going to let you start off by what we talked about in the beginning, like, from the beginning when you were young, okay? You did not know Ron Isley was your father at first. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay.
I didn't know until I was 16.
16. Okay. Yes. All right. How you might want to speak up just a little. Can you ask them if they can hear you though?
Can everybody hear me out there? Can everybody hear me?
If you guys can hear, just say yes. Somebody type in yes that you can hear her.
Okay. Can you? Is that any better?
Somebody's saying yes. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, we're going to give you guys a little history on what's going on. Now, Arvilla said she didn't know Ron was her father until you were what?
Okay, 16. You can call me Mickey, Sam.
Okay, Mickey. Okay, Mickey, where I want to go, what I want to ask you first is what is your mother's name, and what did she do around the time you and your father and her were together? What did she do? How did they meet?
Oh, okay. My mother at the time was a dancer and a model. She was going to modeling school.
Okay.
Matter of fact, my mother went to modeling school with Gail Fisher and Beverly Johnson.
Wow.
They were all thick as thieves. My mother got pregnant, and she decided that she wanted to go the route of being a mother, and devoted all her time to that. But before that, she was also one of the first Black women to have to perform at Carnegie Hall.
Carnegie, wow.
My mother, she's classically trained.
Yeah.
And she is a pianist.
Wow. She plays that piano.
So I was born in between. She was practicing at the Ed Sullivan. She was practicing in the building that they used to film the Ed Sullivan show.
Oh, okay.
My father was practicing in that building as well, or rehearsing in that building. And I guess they met in the hallway.
I guess that. Yeah. Hey, you guys, I know I'm old school, and that's how we used to meet. It was okay. So, okay, your mother and father met there, okay, and things go on from there, and then all of a sudden, here you are.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, going from there, not knowing who your father. Explain to them how you found out that he was your father.
Okay.
First of all, can you give your mother's first name or?
Yes. My mother's name is Ruth. And let me see, how did I? Okay, everybody knows, when we used to have our chores on Saturday, cleaning the house, and our parents, playing music. My mother was very much into Aretha Franklin and that Motown sound, and
Yeah.
doing my chores one Saturday, and I noticed there was some papers in the office, and I went to put those papers away, and one of those papers just happened to be a birth certificate. And when I saw it, I thought somebody was trying to prank me.
Okay.
So I ran upstairs to my room, and I called my grandmother, and my grandmother verified what I was thinking. So
Mm-hmm.
I never said anything, and what I did was I was in the 11th grade at the time. The high school I went to was high school in Somers, New York.
Okay.
At the time I was in 11th grade, my mother had me going to school with her at night at Pace University. So when I graduated high school, I was already a freshman. One day I decided to cut class and investigate.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I looked up T-Neck Records. I got the address. At the time, the address was on Broadway. I forget the numbers, but the
Yeah.
office was on Broadway. So I decided to get on Metro North, go 34th Street, and work my way down Broadway. So I did that. I knocked on a door, and I heard a woman's voice, and she said, "Can I help you?" And I said, "Yes, I'd like to." Now I'm 16,
Yeah.
and still not clicking.
Mm-hmm.
I said, "Yes, I would like to see Ronald Isley." And she said to me, "Do you have an appointment?" Now she's talking to me through the door. I can't see her. I can only hear her. And I said, "No." And she said, "Well, you have to make an appointment." And I said, "Well, I'm his daughter, and I wanna. And when I said that, she opened the door.
Mm-hmm.
She took one look at me, and she said, "Your father's not here, but your uncle's here." And I said,
And
"Oh."
who is your uncle? Sorry about that. Who's your uncle?
The uncle that happened to be there was Kelly Isley.
Okay.
And I said, "Well, can I speak to him?" And she said, "Sure." So she invited me in the office, and I walked. She told me to follow her. I followed her. I walked right into his office. He was sitting behind this gigantic desk,
Yeah.
and he was on the phone. He was looking at me, smiling, and he motioned for me to sit down.
Okay.
And I sat down, and he hung up the phone, and I looked at him, and I said, "Do you know who I am?" And he said, "Yes, I know who you are." I said, "Oh, you do?" And now, still, I'm not. It's not really clicking. So I'm going, "Oh, wow, okay." So, long story short, we get into talking, and he was very receptive. He hugged me. He invited me. He asked me what I was doing on the weekend, and I said, "Studying, I guess." He started laughing.
Mm-hmm.
He opened his desk drawer, and he took out some backstage passes and some front row tickets
Okay.
to a concert. This was like Wednesday.
Yeah.
So Saturday concert was at Madison Square Garden. And we're talking back in the 70s.
Right. Yeah.
So I said, "Oh." He said, "Just come to what did he say? The press entrance, and just show them the tickets, and they'll let you in." And I said, "Oh, okay." Now I'm saying okay, and I'm like, it's still not clicking.
Hmm.
So he reaches down in the drawer, and he pulls out a bag of the icing for the T-shirts.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
gives me the whole bag, and he told me to give them to my friends, and that he would see me on Saturday. So I said, okay. Now I'm not questioning anything. I'm just like still kind of taking it in.
Right.
Because I'm like, oh, okay. I guess too the excitement. I was just so overwhelmed.
Exactly.
You know, I didn't say anything to my mother because I'm still playing investigator.
Right.
I grabbed my oldest brother, who's 2 years younger than me, Conrad Jr.
Somebody
And
said, I'm sorry, but somebody said that knows you, Miss Good said, oh, and she didn't get one.
oh, sorry.
Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry. I just took a look at that over there.
Who's 3 years younger than me, Doreen, and we jumped on a train and went to the concert. And I ended up watching the concert right in the wings. I was right there on stage when they came out, and it's still not sinking in, and blowing stuff up on stage, and I'm dancing, and my father's on stage performing with his brothers and everything, and
The Ozzy brothers.
yes, and let me see who at that concert. Curtis Blow opened up the concert.
Oh, Curtis Blow.
SOS band performed.
Oh, SOS band. Wow.
And that's what I can remember at this time. Well, anyway, after the whole concert was over, and I figured, okay, now here we go. Went backstage. Now I'm 16, and I'm walking back. I see all this glitter and stars walking around, and Teddy Pendergrass was back there. At the
Wow.
time.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
He was like, I guess he's like 7 feet tall, but he looked like a giant.
Teddy Pendergrass?
Yes.
Was he really that tall? Wow.
He was very tall.
Okay.
Sylvia was back there.
Sylvia. Okay.
On the Pillow Talk.
Mm-hmm. Pillow Talk.
Yeah. There were a lot of folks walking around back there. And I bump into Kelly, and he motions me to come to him. So I walk over to him, and he said, did you see your father? Did you speak to him? I said, no, I haven't spoken to him yet, but I see him on the other side of the room. And he said, Ronald. And he called my father over. Now I'm like, I'm trying to switch gears in my head, going from fan to daughter.
Right. That's hard to do.
My father walks over,
and
Kelly's saying to me, tell him who you are. Tell him your name. And I look at him, and he takes both of my hands, and he looks at me, and he says, hello, sweetheart. And I fainted.
You fainted. You fainted meeting your dad.
I'm going down. He grabbed both of he still had my hand, and he was like lifting me back up, and my legs felt like spaghetti. And I came to, and Kelly's saying, say your name. Tell him to say your name. And I'm trying to speak, but nothing's coming out. So when people say that you can get so excited or be so scared that you can't talk, it really does happen.
Right.
I experienced that.
Yeah. Well, you figure you're meeting your father at 16 years old for the first time, and he's this, mega R&B superstar. I mean, what? Yeah. And I'm sure, you look at each other and just like, oh my God, it's like looking in the mirror because you two look just alike.
Yeah, it was kind of spooky.
Right. Well, what words were exchanged, after you got over your fainting and pull yourself together?
That's a good question, because those were all the words.
Was that all you remember from that part?
Well, then came the bodyguards and the stage manager, production manager, the rest of the stars, and they kind of like whisked him right out
Oh,
into the
what?
scene, and I'm waving, and I'm like not even realizing what just happened.
And what did he have to say about that when, the bodyguards just came and just took him away? He didn't say, well, wait, it just happened so fast. I mean, what went on with that? Did he say anything? He didn't.
No,
Okay.
he, for all intents and purposes, he just kept it moving.
Wow. How did you feel after that? After that situation?
Um, I think as a young uh, teenager, I was very impressionable at the time, and I
Mm-hmm.
was I was just so excited
Right.
meeting everybody else that was on the bill that night that I didn't realize that I'm meeting my father for the first time,
Mm-hmm.
and what it was like, what happened?
Right. Mm-hmm.
No,
So
it was kind of, when a surprise party when you walk in and everybody
right.
jumps in your place and they go surprise, and you're like, oh, that's
Right.
what it was.
But okay, meeting your dad at 16, just knowing this, okay. Um Now after that situation took place, had you seen your father again, or have you heard from your father?
No, the next time I saw him, I was 21.
Mm-hmm. And can you explain how you saw him
Yes.
the next time?
Um, a friend of mine, we decided that we were gonna drive, attempt to drive cross country from Albany, New York to
Mm-hmm.
California.
Okay.
Needless to say, the car that we had made it as far as Denver, Colorado. When we got to Denver, Colorado, we had to stop because the car overheated
Okay.
and the radiator was went on the blink. So while we're pulled over and waiting for like AAA, um, just cut on the radio. It was in the summertime, so it was really hot.
Yeah.
So cut the radio on and hear that a concert was being promoted at the arena in Denver, Colorado, and it was going to be the Isley Brothers. So I said, "Wow!" I said, "Well, what are the chances that we broke down in the same town that the concert was going to happen within the next 2 days?" So I show up the day before the concert to the arena,
Mm-hmm.
and I asked to speak to the stage manager.
Right.
At that time, the roadies are moving the equipment in, and there's a lot of movement going on with them and setting up the equipment and the stage. Stage
Okay.
manager comes out, and I looked at him and I said, "Hi, um, my father's performing tomorrow, and I just flew in from school, and I want to surprise him, and he doesn't know I'm here." The guy looks at me and he says, "No problem." He says, "Wait right here. I'll be right back." So he leaves and he comes back, and he had some tickets in his hand. Um, he called some other gentleman that was on the side and he asked for his envelope. The
Mm-hmm.
guy gave him the envelope. He opens the envelope and he asked me, "How many backstage passes do you need?" And I said, "Backstage passes? Uh, I'll take 4." And he gave them to me. He said, "Well, come back tomorrow, this entrance," and he gave me a time, and he said, "And I'll be able to seat you."
Mm-hmm.
And I said, "Okay." And I left, and I'm like, I look at my hands, and he had given me 4 tickets, front row seat tickets, right dead in the middle of the stage, and I had 4 passes. He never asked me to
You went out on us again.
patient. He never asked me to see any identification. So yeah. So I
Oh.
the battery's dying there.
Is that your battery, Don? I'm gonna hook this one up too. I don't want nothing to.
Okay.
Oh,
all right,
shoot.
I'll keep talking. Okay. So I came the next day.
Are you getting a charger or something?
Yeah.
Okay.
Coming back, keep coming back.
Hold up, y'all. She coming back.
Mercury retrograde.
That Mercury retrograde is really messing things up. Maybe I should have waited till next month, but we all right.
Okay, are we back?
Yes, I see you.
Okay.
All right, everybody. She's talking about the second time she went to see her father, which is Ron Isley, y'all. This is the second time. So continue, please. Sorry.
Okay. All right. Okay. We're gonna get this up. Okay.
We doing it old school style. We don't know what we do.
Okay. So I show up next day and go to the concert. Now I feel like my mother raised me right, and I wasn't going to interrupt my father before his show.
Right.
I wasn't trying to shock him or anything like that, but it was very important that I speak to him and let him know that my mother was not sending me. And, she had no idea, because I always felt like, there's 3 sides to every story.
Yeah, exactly.
And, my mother never badmouthed my father to me.
No, that's good.
Me negatively,
right,
about him. The only thing that she said to me, and I didn't push it because I didn't want to upset her, but she said to me that he was her first boyfriend.
Okay.
And he broke her heart.
Okay.
So I didn't push it. I just left it alone.
Right.
But she never tried to turn me against him. She never tried to send me to get anything from him.
Well, that was honorable.
The only thing I wanted from him was some of his time.
Right.
So sit down and talk, go to a Yankee game.
Not really wanting anything from him or nothing like that. Just the fact that that's your father.
Just to know who he was.
Yeah.
Besides, the biological person.
Mm-hmm.
I just,
and bypassing the fame and fortune, it was just the fact you found out at a later date, a later time that was your father. And now you found out that was your father. You really wanted to just get to know him, not because of the fame and not because of all that. It was just that father and daughter type thing that you wanted to try to get going.
Right. Just who he is, what he likes, what his favorite is. And I wanted him to know about me as well.
Right.
I was in school. I was a freshman in college. I didn't have any kids. I wasn't on drugs. I didn't do drugs.
Right.
I was in sports. I was into music. And I wanted to catch him up. And also ask him, where were you? What happened?
Yeah. Right.
How come I never got any calls on my birthday? How come I never got any birthday cards?
Yeah.
I wanted to ask him, did you ever try to visit? Did you ever try to see me? I wanted to hear his side of the story because my mother's side of the story is me.
Right.
So I want to hear his side of the story. So
Just one second. Miss Jones, I see you there. She is the moderator. If anybody have any questions, please get with Miss Jones, and then she will bring them forward to us and Mickey here. Thank you. I'm sorry.
That's okay. So after that concert in Denver, Colorado, well, I can't even say it because I'm excited. We went backstage, and it was like this big, easy boy chair, and my father sat in the chair, and I just walked up to him, and I sat on the arm of the chair. I tried to catch him up. You know, the last like 20 years of my life, I tried to like pour that into his ear.
Mm-hmm.
And you know something, Sandy, he sat there. I had his undivided attention, and he listened to me. And I was talking fast, and I was getting it in.
Wow. Mm.
And all of a sudden, to break up the ice a little bit, because I wanted him to feel comfortable, I started telling him jokes, and in between, telling him about my life, and he was laughing, and and after all of that, he said to me, he looked at me, and he said, "You sound like a really nice person." And I'm like, what? I looked at him, and I said, "Well, how can I not be a nice person?" I said, "When my blood is your blood."
Yeah.
And blood is my blood.
You're his first daughter.
Yes.
You're the first child he had.
I'm his firstborn. I am his first thought.
Mm-hmm.
I am his love child.
Right. Yep. In between the sheets. In between.
and I say that because my mother said, back when I was born, that when a woman gave birth, they kept her in the hospital for a whole week.
Mm-hmm.
I was born on February 9th. So she said when she was released from the hospital with me, it was Valentine's Day. So she said that my father and her called me their Valentine's baby.
Oh,
so
that was sweet.
Love child.
That was sweet. So they were both young. How old were they when you were born?
That's a good question. I would say my father, I would say, was probably in his very early 20s.
Okay. So yeah, they're very young.
And my mother was almost getting ready to enter her 20s. But it's kind of foggy about
okay.
The ages, but the year was 1959.
Okay, you born 1959. Let's roll back a little bit here to let everybody know how me and you came about. I'll let you take it from there. How me and you came about and how all this came about.
Okay, I was scrolling through YouTube, and like when you first go on YouTube, and you're on the home icon,
right?
A lot of things pop up,
right?
I just happened to see Aquarius and Simply Love. I'm like, Simply Love? What is this about? And I clicked on it. And when I clicked on it, you were in the midst of giving a reading for the Aquarian folks out there.
Okay.
I said, okay, I'm gonna hear her out, see what she's got to say. And everything you said resonated with me.
Mm-hmm.
And I just couldn't believe it. It was so overwhelming.
Mm-hmm.
And the advice that you give to whatever sign at the end, all that positive energy and
okay.
And how people just basically hold their head up high,
mm-hmm.
And and deal with those obstacles that, you know, life is dealing us.
Right.
And it was just so positive and so overwhelming that I said, you know, when I get a chance, I'm gonna contact Simply Love and see what these private readings are about, because I couldn't get enough.
Oh, right.
And two, when we did a reading, I still didn't tell her who I was, because
That's right.
I wanted to for her to know me for me, you know, because I know a lot of children of celebrities always say, well, my father is who he is, my brother is who he is, my sister is who she is, but I'm who I am.
Right.
You know? So along the way, you know, then you haven't made any predeterminations on
Exactly.
how I should be, how I should act.
Your experience with the reading, what you see is what you get? Was it like what you seeing is what you getting?
Tell you the truth, I had to turn around and look behind me, because I said, how does she know that? If she can't see me, how does she know? So, you know, and it kind of, you made my heart smile. It was a little tickle, and it was like, if nothing else, even if I didn't get a reading, I wanted to speak to you.
Okay.
You know, because it was that close to home. I felt like you had a little crystal ball in front of you. I wanted to get the lotto numbers. I said, well,
the lotto numbers.
The lotto numbers.
Right. Well, yeah. Yeah, we had a reading, and we talked and we talked and we talked and got a lot of stuff out. You know, she felt you know, she's an Aquarius too. You know how us Aquarius are. We're always up in our head about a lot of stuff. So we talked a really long time, which I do to a lot of my customers. Even some of you that out there had a reading with me, you know that I just like, I'm very passionate about what I, you know, when it comes to helping people, very passionate. And sometimes I can come across a little tough. Yeah, I can do that because I'm an older woman now, and I've been through a lot of things that you guys already been through. So she knows she got some of that treatment. And, you know, even after I got to know her and she told me who she was, it still didn't change anything. You know what I'm saying? Nothing changed. I wasn't apologetic about anything. I felt like, you know, that was what spirit needed for her to hear. But that turned out well. And we turned out saying, well, you know, how about, you know, we just got to talking about just about everything, didn't we? You name it, yes. We were talking about it.
Yeah, it kind of ran the gamut, you could say.
Mm-hmm.
I've had so many beautiful experiences in my life, in and around music. For instance, at one time, I managed the recording studio at the Apollo Theater.
Wait a minute, Arvilla. Is everybody? Are you experiencing buffering? Because Miss Jones said there's some buffering. Just one second, Arvilla. I'm sorry. Sandy 4, you can just look at the description below, or go to my email. You know, Miss Jones, put out my email address or my phone number. It doesn't matter. However, they can get in touch with me for a reading if they like. So put my phone number or my email address out there periodically for those who want to know about a reading. Okay, I'm so sorry, Arvilla. Go ahead.
At that time, I managed the recording Apollo Theater recording studio for the late Percy Sutton.
Oh, and, yeah, the Apollo Theater.
During that time, the late 80s, I would say, in 88, I was an intern, and 89, I became the assistant studio manager. And during that time, I met Frankie Parker.
Oh.
And one night I was working late in the studio, and during cleanup, we were playing BLS, and Frankie was announcing that he was getting ready to do an interview with Ronald Isley. And it was about a year after his, roughly about a year after his marriage to Angela Winbush. So I said, oh my goodness. So I finished locking up the studio, and I went down to the radio station. Now, I walked in. I was right outside of the studio. My father was in the midst of doing an interview with Frankie Crocker. They went to commercial. Frankie came out, and he looked at me and he said, "Can I help you?" And I said, "I'm just waiting for you to finish your interview." I speak to my father, and he just looked at me and he said, "Oh, okay." I said, "It's okay. I can wait." So he went back in, and I know he was like he looked a little perplexed, but he kept that Frankie Crocker cool. He went in there and he finished the interview. But right before the interview was up, Angela came into the room, Angela Winbush.
Mm-hmm.
And
wow.
I walked over to her and I introduced myself, and I said, I'm Ron Isley's daughter, and my dad doesn't know I'm here, and I just want to let him know that I'm okay, and that he doesn't have any snotty-nosed grandkids. I don't have a husband or a boyfriend that beats me.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to school to get an education, and I have a job, and I just wanted to let my father know that I'm okay.
Yeah.
She looked at me and she said, I don't want to get involved in any family. I said, no. I'm not trying to put you in the middle of anything. So I said, I tell you what, I happen to have a copy of my resume on. I said, when you leave and you're in the limo on your way home, I said, you can let him know that I'm okay. And she was like, but she took the resume.
Mm-hmm.
When my father walked out of the studio, now we're talking, it was about 9:00 at night. When he walked out of the studio with those dark glasses on, it kind of spooked me out. At the time, he was like an inch taller than me. So looking at him was like looking in the mirror. And he looked like he's seen a ghost when he stepped out of that booth, and I was there.
Yeah.
And looked at me in my eyes. He looked like he saw a ghost.
Yeah. Because you both look so much alike. It's like
so we both had this kind of like ghostly thing going on. But what really kind of freaked me out was he didn't speak. So I don't know what his voice sounds like. So I did all the speaking. And I said to him, I said, "Hi, Dad. Can I call you Dad?" I said, "I'm okay." And I just wanted to say that I'm okay. Mm-hmm. And he just like stood there. And he didn't even move. I didn't even know if he was still breathing. I said, "Oh, okay." I said, "I had enough of this." And I wasn't trying to personally attack him. I was just trying to let him know again that my mother was not sending me him for anything. And if he had some time, that maybe we could have a game of catch, or go see a Yankee game, or go share a hot dog.
Right. Do something real subtle, and then can talk and bring in some getting to know each other without it being you sitting down and him sitting down, you looking at each other. It's like, yeah.
That's what I was trying to do, and then I could see he was I don't know, his hands were shaking a little bit, so I kind of just said bye, and I left, because I figured since Angela had the resume, she, he would know how to get in touch with me. Let me see, did I have an email address at the time? No, I didn't have an email address. Just my cell phone number, or should I say my pager cell phone number, that and my address. So I figured, I'd make it as easy as possible for him to contact me, or either just ring my doorbell. And and that was good enough, because I didn't want to. The energy
Right.
was not balanced,
Right.
and I didn't want to cause any discomfort.
Mm-hmm.
And the last thing I wanted him to feel like I was one of them groupie fans.
Right. Yeah.
Because it was it was just a whole nother head.
Right. Right.
So he left, and then I left, and I know Frankie didn't know what to think or what to say. He didn't even know what to say to me. And I just thanked him for letting me walk over to the studio.
Right. Right.
And he thanked me for not interrupting the interview.
Right.
And I told him, I was raised correctly.
Exactly.
I didn't come down here to start any trouble.
Yeah.
I said, I work up at the Apollo, and I just came down, to see my dad. I said it, that easy.
Okay. And at that time, like you said, I'm sorry about that. There was like a shocking reaction. So he really he really didn't get to say anything to you at all, or
no, he just kind of like stared me down. It was like he was in shock.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I tried to pour in from the last time he saw me up until then. I tried to, fast forward my life, and let him know that I was okay. And that was about it.
Okay, I'm going to stop you right there. I'm sitting up here getting emotional, So we got a couple of questions over here, and one says, where does Arvilla want to proceed with him at this point? Where do you want to proceed with him at this point?
Where do I want to proceed? I want to sit down and have a cup of coffee with him. I want to sit down and have a cup of tea and eat a croissant, and let him know again that I'm okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's kind of odd that, I mean, if you don't mind me asking this question, you don't have to answer if you don't want to, but he took care of his responsibility. I mean, it wasn't like he was like not knowing that you were there, or just like ignoring you. I mean, financially, did he take care of his responsibility?
No.
Okay.
My father paid child support up until I was 21 because I was still in school. At the time, I believe I lived in White Plains.
Okay.
There was a flood in the basement. So all that legal paperwork was destroyed.
Mm-hmm.
My mother didn't pursue the child support, so she was more into making sure that I got a good education.
That's good. You got a good mother.
Instead of trying to chase him down.
Right, exactly.
Back then, those highfalutin lawyers that run around if they smell divorce in the air.
Mm-hmm.
Because somebody's a celebrity within that relationship.
Exactly.
That wasn't. We're talking back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I had brothers and sisters. So my mother was trying to provide for us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Right.
You know, the best way she could, and it was like that whole situation wasn't stopping no show. You know, that's basically what that was about. So and I was getting ready to start my second year in college, so we just kept it moving. You
Okay.
know.
Okay. Just to let some of you know out there, when Arvilla contacted me and we did a reading, which that's a personal reading. I want to say nothing about that. I kind of like wanted to do this, and this was a little while back. It's been a minute, and I was wanting to do this. You know, not trying to get no fame, fortune, not like that, or it has nothing to do with that. What it had to do with me was that maybe if somebody could put her message out there, that maybe her and her father could make some type of connection, because this is like how can I put it? It's like she knows who her father is. Her father knows who she is, but there just can't be. There's not a connection there for some reason. Regardless